Not yet. You can go there if you want. Let me think. I mean, what does grounded even mean, you know? You want to have your feet on the earth, you know, and you want to, I don't know.
As in, I suppose...
By the way, I'm not questioning the question.
This is Cambridge, so it's allowed.
Yes. Oh, you're right. It'd be great if I just got into a heated debate about some little part of a sentence he said. That's what y'all like to do, right?
So I suppose I just mean, you know, wherever you go, you have all these people screaming your name, etc.
Right.
I mean, do you find that you've had like a support network of friends over the years who you can remain sort of, you know, just like you've always been friends, or you can sort of relate on a more personal level? Yeah,
I'm going to answer that question in a second. This chair is awesome. I'm going to sit in a cross-legged. I feel like I'm in like I'm in a, I don't know, like. That's a little better. Well, it's weird. You know, when I leave here, I'll be. I'm not bragging. I'll leave here, I'm going to get in a car, then I'm going to get in a helicopter, then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to get on a plane, and I'm going to spend like the better part of the next 14 hours when I leave here on my way back home to my, you know, missus and our almost 3-year-old boy and this little girl that's coming. And you spend a lot of time just kind of like on ice waiting for the next thing you're going to do, like we all do. You know, there's always those times of the day or at night when you're just doing your wind down, or even if you have a roommate or whatever, you're kind of in your own little zone, and it's this time where you're just kind of in your own isolation. So, I mean, I think anybody here could relate to that, and that during the day you're kind of like exposed and everyone's aware of each other, and there are these tasks in front of you that you have to do, and then you transition into this other world, which is actually kind of a very solitary thing, you know? So to answer the question about being grounded if and when I am, it's just like, you know, I'm not saying it's not all it's cracked up to be. It's really fun to be me right now. But it's tempered by that just kind of like, you know, nobody, when I walk into my house, people aren't going like, whoa! They're like, you know what I mean? Susan's like, did you let Monty out? Did you let the cat out? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I did. I don't think he's in the house. Go look for him. I'm like, oh. So I'm going outside to look for a cat you think I might have let out. You always let him out. So it's kind of like that.
To sort of like badly segue on something which has come up really recently, I just want to ask you about Iron Man and specifically relationships with Captain America 3.
Yes.
I
guess maybe that's why I'm here.
No. Like, I assume people in the audience are interested in that. I guess we just have to...
Well, I'm glad people in the audience are interested in that.
Like, I'm not asking for a scoop, I'm just asking because people are interested.
Yep.
Can you say anything about how that's progressed or what might happen there?
Well, here's what happens is, in case you haven't figured this out, I kind of like to run my mouth. So if any of you were to tell me a secret in confidence, I would go to my grave with it. But if you give me information about myself, I'll just like blurt it out randomly because I don't like even having anything in my head that someone else might think I'm not telling them. It's kind of a weird thing. It's called discretion, I believe. So, so there's been all this stuff lately about, are you doing an Iron Man 4? And there's some plan of what they're doing. And I said, you know, I'm really starting to look like someone. I'm not a particularly good liar anymore. And so they're going to say what their whole plan is soon.
Okay.
I don't run Marvel. It's not like I just make announcements whenever I want.
In terms of another Marvel-related thing, you've recently finished filming the Avengers Age of Ultron, I think?
That is correct.
Could you tell us anything about filming it and how it compared to the first one?
It's so good. I don't think that's betraying any confidence that they put in me, is it?
I was hoping you'd tell us how it ended or something.
Okay. Well,
like that.
first of all, we shot it at Shepperton, and then it was on location in some other places, and it's really, I think it's awesome. When I read it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe Joss Whedon wrote this follow-up to the Avengers. This is going to be so cool, and and I get to do a bunch of fun stuff. The best part about it, I think, in some ways, was staying in Richmond outside London, because I always stay in the city, And we were down there, and it's all kind of like classy, and there's like Petersham Nursery, and these, like, I don't know. It's just, it felt different. It's kind of like the Malibu of London. and that was really nice. You see how I'm avoiding plot points?
Yeah, no. I see what you've done.
I've been well trained. I think it's going to be the best Marvel movie ever.
Solid. Nice.
Do I say that every time?
Yeah, I think that's come up a few times. Wait, am I incorrect in saying you lived in London when you were a child briefly?
Yes, I did.
Do you have much experience with the city, like compared coming through a lot?
I remember. Here's what I remember. I was like 5 or 6, and we came to London. We came on, I think maybe the SS France. We came on this big ocean liner, and I was really excited. And we got here, and then it was kind of like cloudy and weird, and I was young. But there was double-decker buses, and I didn't think those were real because I'd only ever seen them in cartoons or on. So I thought that was cool. Eating fish and chips wrapped in newspaper was very exciting. And my education put me basically at the level of a 2.5-year-old British kid. So when I went to school, I spent a lot of time standing in the corner. I'd be like, can I go to the bathroom? You don't say go to the bathroom. You say, may I take a penny? I'd say, what? Don't say, what? You say, excuse me. And I'd say, I got to take a pee. They'd be like, go stand in the corner. At Perry House School, I think it was, in Chelsea.
And was that traveling around with your dad making films?
Yeah.
So how was that experience, growing up, going to so many different places?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elaborate at all?
Okay.
Sorry, that wasn't...
I loved it, and it's going to be the best Marvel movie ever. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not dissimilar to someone whose family's in the armed services or has a dad that works in Singapore and then gets transferred or something like that. But I just remember it became very natural to kind of pack up and go and then be somewhere else or be seemingly a long way away from home. And it just, I think what it did is it calmed me down about some of those typical childhood stresses of needing to feel like you have these morning lines or everything's very consistent, because it's just, life isn't like that, So I think just geographically having to kind of make friends and then we're up and moved or something. I think it I don't know. I think it builds character. And
you came, obviously, your father was a producer. He worked in films. You were surrounded by the whole time. Did you ever think about doing something else other than doing film?
What was I thinking I was going to do? I mean, I wanted to join the band The Police. I thought maybe Sting would let one more person in the band. Maybe the Fifth Wheel and Duran Duran. I don't know what you're thinking when you're young or you're a teenager. You just think you're instantly going to be part of some picture that you see and you like, And then reality set in. So I had a lot of regular jobs growing up in New York. Worked in a shoe store. I was a busboy. I worked at a discount shop called Thrifty's. I ran the ice cream counter. You may be interested to know.
Nice. Is that as good as the new Avengers? Or?
Next question.
Does your dad actually have much of an opinion on what you do now? Does he give you advice on how to act and what to do?
Not really. I mean, he's let me see, he was born in 36, so he's 78, and he's still active and works on documentaries and does stuff like that. He came and saw The Judge and really appreciated it. I don't know really what he thinks about these superhero movies I think he didn't mind the Sherlock Holmes movies. But I grew up in a very, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, very kind of not snobby, just very opinionated kind of family, whereas whatever. It's what did you think of, this movie? I thought it was pretty good. It's garbage or whatever, you know what I mean? But I mean, I think he appreciates that I've been happy doing them and all that stuff. It was completely different generation. My dad made movies. I would suggest you saw at least one of them. There's a movie called Putney Swope, which is about an African American who takes over an advertising agency in 1968 in Manhattan. Is astounding. There's another one called Pound, where he was given money purportedly to make a documentary on the conditions of unwanted animals, and he took the budget and he cast people to play the dogs. And that was my first role. I was a puppy. This bald guy was a Mexican hairless. There was a guy wearing a silk robe. He was a boxer. It's very metaphoric.
And did that kind of overshadow you maybe at the beginning of your career? Did you feel that you had to do things which are similar to what your father had done?
It's so, I don't know why this stuck in my head. I was thinking about this on the way here. I think when I was like 7 or 8, I was in some second grade play or whatever, and I had one line that I recall. The line was, "Yield the castle now, Lady Roxanne." And now when I look back on it, I remember that I made a point of doing something so overly dramatic and wild. It's "Yield the castle now, Lady Roxanne." And people were like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" But it's that thing. It's before we started, I was sitting down with some journalists, and this one guy asked one question. He goes, "Mr. Downey, how large is your penis?" And I was like, right. That's the sort of thing I would have asked. So that what I'm getting at is that act of thinking, you know what I mean? You're a kid, or you're young, or you just want to do something that stands out, or you want to be outrageous, or you want to separate yourself from the pack, or whatever it is.
So do you ever think about, so you've got a production company, you're
Yes.
still predominantly an actor. Do you ever think about maybe directing or producing?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
So have you got any ideas for what you... is it true you're working on Pinocchio?
Yes.
Do you have any ideas perhaps you directing or producing that?
That's probably a great idea.
Can I have a cut of the earnings if you...
Well, it's the other thing. If you woke any one of you up in the middle of the night and say, "Would you like to run Cambridge? Would you just how would you like to just take over Cambridge and tell everyone to do?" You go, I know exactly what to do. And then the reality of being the dean, or what's the equivalent of the person who's in charge of Cambridge?
Well, so colleges have masters.
Yes, master.
And then there's a chancellor who's kind of yeah.
Who oversees the masters?
Well, so I don't...
Who's the top dog? Please, somebody tell me.
Let's go with vice chancellor, yeah.
That's what I thought. There's always one, isn't there? Yeah, I want to be him.
So what does your wife think about you getting involved in those sorts of
She's a
roles?
little nervous.
Yeah.
You know what it is I think it's just a process of maturation. If you want to go from what your comfort zone is into doing something where you have more, responsibilities, or you have the freedom to fail on a larger scale. It's like anything, It's like you don't have anyone to blame. I can't say, "God, the director just ripped this movie." You were the director.
So in terms of, with Pinocchio, for example, and with just future projects in general, what do you look for when you're going to be involved in the production company?
It's kind of an intuitive thing, for instance, I'm not some huge Steve McQueen fan, even though he's great. But there was this project he was developing before he passed away that was kind of this treasure hunt movie, but it was also kind of a point in his life when he had been diagnosed with mesothelioma, and he was trying to kind of find a cure, and he was spending time in Mexico. So, in our industry and like many other things, you can take an idea, and this is so true in invention and business and commerce. Sometimes you can pick up a notion that was left kind of half done, and you can honor the legacy of the unfinished nature of that by reinterpreting it or bringing it back to life, And so that's the sort of thing that can interest me, but also, we like making movies that have commercial potential. I don't think that you have to make movies that nobody wants to see or are really like your passion project in order to be, you know, a legitimate, I'll use the term very loosely, artist or you know, businesswoman or politician or anything, you know.
Do you think maybe to some extent you use it to connect with maybe more dramatic roles which you don't have? Obviously Iron Man has drama in it as well, but say The Judge, it's sort of a family drama.
Right.
It's got commercial viability and it's a really enjoyable film, but it is more dramatic. Do you look for projects which are maybe more like that?
Not particularly. I mean, and by the way, you know, when I did the first Iron Man, as far as I was concerned, that was real. It was really happening to me. As far as I was concerned, that was not a action or a superhero movie. That was a documentary. You know. And to a certain extent, you know, the same thing with like maybe like the Sherlock series, like, you know, oh, it's been done a million times. What you do, and you go back and you read the books and you say, wow, this medium hasn't really been explored. And you know, I think sometimes by returning to the simplest ideas and the original ideas of something, you can kind of reinterpret it in a way.
So with Sherlock, what did you do to try and reinterpret it and give your own spin on it?
Well, first of all, you know, Watson had been played as this kind of bumbling guy with his foot in a waste paper basket who, you know, and when you read him in the stories, he's actually this dynamic fellow who was in, you know, Afghan wars and he'd been, you know, he was a field doctor and he'd seen something on the rough side of life. And so that to me, in and of itself, was going to change the whole spectrum of the thing. We love the idea that he's kind of a caretaker of Holmes. We turned the dial up a little bit on the kind of, you know, like, why doesn't Sherlock want him to get married? Is Sherlock, how does Sherlock feel about Watson? He treats him kind of like he's his girlfriend, but he's this kind of needy guy. And then also in the books it said that, you know, Sherlock was the master of the martial art called Baritsu, which doesn't exist. But I looked it up, and at the time there was a guy named Barton who'd gone to Japan and studied jiu-jitsu. And like I was talking about earlier, reinterpreting, he brought it back to England and called it Bartitsu, not a best name for a martial art. Sounds like, you know, you win fights by taking off your shirt in the pub. So then, you know, with Guy Ritchie, guys like, you have to get really cut up, man. I was like, what? He said, you gotta be shredded. I was like, shred what? He goes, I'm gonna lock you from the top, you're gonna look like a cunt. I was like, I'm going to look like a what? Very well. And then there was kind of this scene that we called the punch bowl scene, which is, you know, Sherlock goes to let off some steam and does bare knuckle boxing. And by the time we shot that scene, we felt like we'd reinterpreted the story and also brought it back more to its roots.
So what was the sort of discussion with Guy Ritchie and Jude Law in terms of reinterpreting it? Where did those ideas mainly come from?
He just wanted it to seem like, first of all, he said, you know, Victorian England was extremely dangerous. And, you know, it's not just, you know, top hats and soirees and a little bit of intrigue. He was like, it was nasty. And he said, you know, this sense of these two guys who were trying to do their own version of justice in what is essentially a very kind of civilized place, you know, at the height of the empire, but it's just starting to collide with its own fate a little bit, and really try to kind of like make it gritty, you know.
Do you ever watch Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Mark?
I certainly do.
I mean, what's your view on how they've taken?
I think it's great. Yeah.
Moving on. Have you ever?
Yeah, and I think the next Sherlock's is going to be the greatest movie ever.
Have you ever actually met either of them, out of curiosity?
Yes.
And have you just like discussed how either of them have gone?
Well, you think, you know, I'm naturally kind of a competitive person, and I'm a martial artist myself, and I spend an inordinate amount of time like practicing how to like gouge people in the eyes and do crazy kicks. To me, it's a spiritual endeavor. Because I'm not, you know, I don't have like designs on like assaulting anybody or whatever. But so I'm a little bit competitive. So you'd think that I would meet some other Sherlock and I'd be a little standoffish, or I'd be like, look at my box office receipts, or you know, whatever. You're just on TV, and you know, you see the show and you meet the guy and you're like, oh my God, we're both students of this thing, which is Conan Doyle. I mean, Conan Doyle is
There we go. Oh, when you...
Let's do a mic switch for fun. Come on. What's your name, ma'am? Anna. This one's getting a little sweaty. This is better. Thank you. See, that's what you can do as an artist. You can always go like, you know what? It's not that I gave you a lousy answer. I think it's that I need a mic switch.
I was wondering, in terms of... Hello? It's like musical chairs.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, in terms of your career, you obviously would have got to a point where I guess you no longer had to audition for things?
I auditioned for Chaplin 20-something years ago, and I auditioned for Iron Man in 2006.
So everything else has got through agents then?
Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes, it's like anything, It's like, how did Facebook start?
So...
You know what I mean? Like a bunch of folks kind of sitting around and trying to outthink each other. I mean, what I'm saying is that you run in a circle and then you realize, I'm sure that there are going to be things, I could count the souls in this room, and just by process of elimination, it's likely that there are folks in this room who are going to push the envelope of society or entertainment or media or politics or literature or anything, forward. And I just, past a certain point, you wind up kind of knowing a lot of the people, and so you literally bump into somebody at Whole Foods. They're like, "Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. Hey, I'm doing a movie about, whatever." And you go, "Please don't talk to me about movies in Whole Foods." Later you go, "Okay, tell him to send me that script he was talking."
So you kind of have people you trust, and when they suggest things, you take it seriously.
Yeah, not that I listen to anybody.
So has that changed much over your career?
Well, it's one thing when you're just trying to make a living, or the idea of just booking jobs and staying busy, keeps up the appearance of success. And it's another thing when you're not trying to burn out the audience on the choices you're making or whatever. So you try to be a little. My Lord, another one.
Just be careful of this bit. There's a transmitter that sends out to. That's why you can't see it. You want that one as well? Thank you.
See, if you glean one thing, it's that you can create your own reality. If you don't like the way things are going, just pretend it's a technical problem. And when you sit in a chair that seems like it's like a rabbit hole and you're just going to fall into it, just keep shifting positions. Allow yourself to change. And then I get to look at more people. Hi. I'm going to answer this next question facing away from you. I think it's a very interesting choice.
I won't take. I won't take it personally. So actually, to be honest, there are so many people here who must have so many burning questions.
Yes,
Should we
let's
just broaden
get to it.
Should we just broaden it out?
Yeah, you did a good job, by the way.
Cheers, Lee. And do you want to pick the people who ask questions?
No, it's too much pressure. You go ahead.
No? Okay.
I'll be back here.
So I guess a forest of hands are going to go up, but does anyone have any questions? Okay. Just the lady at the front there. Sorry. Sorry. Could everyone just wait for a mic?
I get my own mic.
They do
Great.
usually work.
If you need a mic switch, just let me know.
Okay, I will. I was wondering, I actually just recently watched Chaplin, and I thought it was great.
Oh.
And I was wondering what you did for the audition, because your slapstick is impeccable. And
Thank you.
What
Excellent
did you do for
first
your
question.
audition?
What did I do for my slapstick? Well, first of all, I got to know Lord Richard Attenborough, recently deceased. Once Dickie Attenborough, then Sir Richard Attenborough, and finally Lord Richard Attenborough. And I remember I got a general meeting with him, and he held up a picture of Tom Cruise and he said, "Now, isn't this a remarkable resemblance?" And I was like, "What are you telling me? Do you want me to call Tom and see if he's available?" And sometimes that sort of thing, it motivates you. I was like, "All right, I gotta get this part. This would be great." And I don't think that the studio or even Dickie were all that interested in me, but I got a screen test. I worked with a guy named Johnny Hutch. Your show, Benny Hill. Do you remember that show at all? There was a guy who he was always like slapping on the head. This kind of bald guy. His name's Johnny Hutch. I'm sure he's passed away. If he hasn't, I'm really embarrassed. But so I worked with him for a bunch of months, and that before, during, and after the screen test, and I just kind of went for it. I mean, it was in my early 20s. You know, you couldn't tell me there was anything I wasn't capable of. I found out how many things I wasn't capable of during the course of the film, but you know, they were able to cover that up.
Anyone else? Yeah, just the guy in the white shirt, just on the third row.
Mic check, come on. Yeah. Thank you. So you've been, well, I like to think you've been quite lucky. You've got the chance to play quite a few roles in your time.
Yes, it's all luck.
Oh, all luck. No skill there at all.
No, I'm sorry.
But now that, well, Iron Man is eventually going to be coming to an end, are there any roles that you'd like to go back to that you've played in the past you'd like to maybe bring back via your production company?
Well, like I said, I think we should do another Sherlock, just because I like when things happen in threes. I think it'd be weird to only do two. That's kind of a lame reason to want to do a third movie. I'll come up with a better reason. But again, like, you know, I have such an incomplete education. I'm not a particularly like forward thinking or planning person. I don't go, you know, what I must do is get on the boards and play Henry V, or what. I don't have like some secret thing that it's like I've been waiting to do. And I don't know why, but whenever someone's like, you know, so they're making a movie about Steve Jobs, and I'm like, great. Or, you know, when you talk about historical characters or stuff, like, I know when I know, like, what I think I want to do. Like, after I did Iron Man, Ben Stiller called me and he says, "Hi, I've got a terrible idea." I was like, "What is it?" He goes, "I want you to play an Australian actor who thinks he understands the black experience." I was like, you want the what? He said, "Yeah, and his name's, you know, Kirk Lazarus." And I was like, oh, God darn it. And some part of me just said, go for it. And I didn't know that would be such a kind of cathartic thing for me to do, you know? And I also knew that it was a real kind of razor's edge, and that it could be very, like, poorly received, and for good reason, you know? But I just couldn't resist the idea of playing an actor who is so narcissistic that he thinks, you know, he can do that. So, you know, things like that are a little more kind of risky without being offensive or you know, bigoted or racist or just like not entertaining is probably some of the stuff I might be drawn to.
Any other hands? Yeah, just a guy. Yeah.
Hi, I'm a huge fan of your work, and what's the best and worst part about playing as a superhero, in your opinion?
The best part is when kids see you and kind of flip out, you know? Because like I might be like having a bad hair day, and I kind of whatever, I put on 12 pounds and I'm like down at the market and not looking like Tony Stark at all. But maybe it's like I'll you know, I was shooting it a couple weeks ago, so I have the beard, and some kid goes, "Oh my God, it's him!" And they like follow me or whatever, and you'll stop and you go, "Hey, Tony, how you doing?" or whatever, you know. It's just, it's literally, it's such a privilege, you know, and I'll have that for the rest of my life, except that we going, "You're old Iron Man, aren't you?" "Have you seen the new Iron Man? He's even better." And I mean, probably the worst part, if there is a worst part, is my long-suffering wife says that when I'm playing Tony Stark, I'm mildly insufferable. But that's only every year, or...
Anyone else? Yeah, just a guy right here.
Hello? Oh, another huge fan. This is a favour, a small favour. You
Yes,
don't have to do it if you don't want to,
Yes,
but
I do.
essentially I've written a radio play, and a radio play? A play for the radio, and
Oh, that's what you mean, a radio play, yes.
yes.
course.
And you don't have to do it. I've
Sure,
just
I
got
do.
a couple of lines. We can discuss fee later. I've just got my
Yeah.
student loan through, so you know.
Okay.
If I would be able to record it, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, come on.
Is that okay? Yeah, let's go. Do you have a mic as well?
What is? So I've got two plays. This is a play about the weapons industry, and that's the name of it. Yes. And then this is another play where
Do you want a mic as well?
So I'm announcing one
Yeah.
play, then I'm announcing another play.
Yeah, two kind of sound bites that be in it, and then this is just a random caller.
Wait, dude, do you want a mic as well?
Sorry, we're rehearsing.
Sorry. How exactly would you like me to say it?
Well,
I never listen to directors anyway. No, go
no,
ahead.
your own interpretation. I'm not going to tell you how to do it.
Do you want me to say it's me and I'm introducing this piece?
You
that we're
could,
doing?
yeah. I edit it a bit, and you know.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
What do you want me to say exactly?
Heckler and Koch. It needs to be forceful. Yeah, it needs to be you. Okay, and recording now.
Right off the bat, I have a piece coming at you about the weapons industry. It needs to be forceful. It needs to be explosive. It needs to have a backup clip. It's called Heckler and Koch.
Great. And then that line there.
Quiet on the set. For my follow-up piece in the trilogy, as yet to be unnamed, the third part, part 2 is about a young mastiff who's really marking all the trees. It's called Territory.
I don't know, maybe a bit hillbilly.
Is that a title? Or just say it?
Yeah, just say it's like you're calling in.
Hello, Sydney? Can I pleasure your wife? Sometimes you just gotta go for it. By the way, we call that exposure therapy. The more often you can do things that you might get a no for and that you have to put yourself up and face potential ridicule, the better.
I think that means we're just going to get loads of weird questions now.
Yeah. Anybody want to top that?
Okay, yeah. Other questions? Yeah, just go over here. Oh, wait, sorry, can you have you? Oh.
Is it possible to get a selfie then? Moving on from that.
Yes, it is. However, we're going to do one big one at the end. Otherwise, I'm just going to, then that'll be every other question.
Okay, any other, normal questions?
Or abnormal.
Yeah, there's a guy over there in the glasses who just looked like he's annoyed he's not been picked. Yeah, he's on that one. It keeps going along. He'll be the first one.
It's not easy picking, is it?
It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's a tough job.
Hello, hi. What would you say is what would you say are the coolest parts about being a celebrity?
Thank you. Getting tables at restaurants. That's nice. It's a really interesting meditation on perception, because if I haven't worked for a while, I forget that there's a perception of me that I'm a performer or whatever, and I kind of go into a completely different mode. I'll be painting or taking walks or hanging out with my kid or whatever, and then it's like, hey, dummy, you actually got to pay for all this. You got to go back to work. And I have to get back in this mode. It's a fairly narcissistic thing to do, but you get back in this mode of well, how am I going to do this, or what am I doing, or you're picking out clothes. It's kind of like going on a date in a weird way, except you're going on a date with yourself. I'm not saying that's one of the cool things. I also think, obviously, one of the cool things of having any notoriety whatsoever, and there's so many different ways and different levels of it which have merit, is that whenever you can parlay that into having some leverage to do something that actually is for the higher good, that isn't just about, putting more currency in your own ego bank or making money or whatever, or having leverage and playing that whole game. It's just nice when you can do something like, it's really cool. I mean, I'm a high school dropout. I actually got my GED in prison, and I am at Cambridge talking to all of you right now, and that's a pretty cool thing for me.
Other questions? Actually, I'll take one from the gallery, just up there.
Just one from the gallery.
Can no mics get up there?
Did you all come late, by the way, or did you have the pick of the place and then you chose to be up there?
Wait, is it not impossible to get a mic up there?
We can hear you.
Well,
we like shouting.
Wait, I'll tell you what. We'll come back to you while someone else down here, and presumably in that time we can get someone to run up, get a mic. That's This is Tim saying smart things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ask a question, then I'll repeat it. So I'll just repeat it for the people watching elsewhere. Are you annoyed that despite being Robert Downey Jr., you didn't get the girl in Weird Science?
Yeah, that still irks me a bit. You mean the girl like Kelly LeBrock or the girl who was playing my girlfriend? You don't need to.
Cool. Other questions? Yeah, just the guy over there with the black t-shirt on. Yeah, second from last row, middle.
Is there an actor that you've worked with that you would say is like the best person to have banter with?
Thank you. I'll name a few. Jude Law is a national treasure. He's fantastic. Love him. Val Kilmer, pretty great. Did a movie with him. Loved it. And in The Judge, I love Vince D'Onofrio, but this actress Vera Farmiga is probably the single most natural person I've ever been on screen with. I don't know if that's banter. That's me just looking at her and going, wow, you're really quite natural, aren't you?
Other questions? Yeah, just the woman, in the corner. Yeah. Oh, sorry, as ever, wait for the microphone, please.
Hey, so what's it? Hey, here.
Oh, hi.
So what's it like meeting Scarlett Johansson?
What's it like meeting her?
Or knowing her, even.
Knowing her. She's great.
Okay.
Yeah. She and I are pals. I think she just had a kid. Can you imagine that? Do you want me to say some more about Scarlett? Yeah, more about Scarlett. Let me think. She's a New Yorker, and it's very apparent to me. I don't know how you would describe someone who's from a certain place and their characteristics, but she's a very East Coast type gal. And I remember seeing her when she was like 15 or however old she was when she was doing Lost in Translation. I was like, wow, she's pretty good. And then when she came on in the second Iron Man to play Black Widow, I was like, wow, this is going to be kind of great. And then she just kicked ass and has become this like massive kind of like star, and it's really cool. She has a French boyfriend, which I suppose is, I guess, what you want to do if you're Scarlett Johansson. And they just had a kid, and I'm really happy for them.
Cool. Other questions? Yeah, just over that. I think you know who you are, so keep your hand up. I know. Oh God, everyone thinks it's them. No, yeah, the guy who's got the hand up over there. Yeah. Yeah, no, like he's got his hand up and he's wearing some sort of jacket.
Wear the jacket to be recognisable. My first question was going to be, what was it like to fly into the wormhole? But instead, I was wondering, like, we've noticed a lot of sort of accent shifts that you've been doing this evening. Do you enjoy playing different characters with different accents, and what is that experience like?
Yeah. It's always a little scary because you don't want to do a bad one, and American actors are really good at doing bad accents. But I mean, sometimes it's, you know, when you find the voice, you find the character. You know, I should tell you about my process. But yeah, I like doing all different kinds of stuff.
Anyone else? Yeah, just the last row over there.
What is this place called, by the way?
This is the Chamber.
The Chamber.
The Chamber, yeah.
It's just called The Chamber.
Yeah.
My God,
Yeah.
it sounds like a Grisham novel. What kind of stuff happens in here? Cool stuff.
Debates, speaker events.
Hello, dear.
Hello. It's not working? Oh, no. Okay. I just wanted to know how much of Tony Stark or Sherlock Holmes is really in you, or if it's just all acting and just a mode for you.
Right. Tony Stark is cooler than me. So honestly, there would be days where I would just be on set going, all right, just be a little bit cooler right now. Just be a little bit more in shape, just right now. And you know, and what would you do if you were like this billionaire industrialist guy who was used to this and that? But I also thought about for Tony, like, what would it be like to make weapons and then have one of them blow you up? That's such a like karmic weird thing to have to deal with. And would you change and all that? And for Sherlock, I just think, what if I was actually as smart as I think I am? And what if I was actually even weirder than I think I am? Because he does all this kind of, you know, weird stuff. I love playing Sherlock. You can do any weirdo thing, and it's like, okay, because he's thinking.
I'll take another one from the gallery, and we'll do that I repeat what you say thing. Yep, just over there. Other. Yeah, and then I'll have to say it again. Yeah. So, what would you study if you came to Cambridge?
Give me some options.
History, maths, English.
Engineering. Is there architecture too?
They do architecture. They do. Architecture.
I would do engineering architecture.
Any reason why?
Because I just think it'd be fascinating. It'd be great. And then someone would say, like, oh my God, you know, this is, well, I know why that happened. And I could build it better. I've always thought it's great vocations. I also think my grandfather was an engineer on the Panama Canal, and I just remember hearing stories of my mom being down in Panama with him when he was working on this kind of impossible project that, of course, they eventually finished.
Cool. Other people? Yep, just over there in the second row.
Going from sort of minor supporting roles in the films, like the big action movies.
Could you hold the? I mean, the mic might not.
Oh,
work.
is it? Oh, there we go.
Hold on a goddamn second. Alec Baldwin was here last week?
Yeah, last Friday.
Huh.
Yeah, so he was wondering, what's it like going from, say, in your 20s and 30s playing some minor supporting roles to then, in your later years, being this massive action movie star? Because normally it's the other way around in Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah. It's better. It's great. Never had it so good. I like
Other
Alec.
people? Yeah, I'll go for back row, just over there.
Just doing a time check with my crew. Make sure you don't overindulge yourselves with my goodwill.
Do you want to pick
Huh?
Hi.
No, you kidding me? Too much pressure.
Hi. So I'm actually a chemical engineer. So when I watched the Iron Man movies, I was drawn to all the technology, and obviously it's very, very cool and enticing. And I know that there's a lot of work currently in labs throughout the world, and here at Cambridge, I'm sure, that is on bionics and artificial intelligence. And I'm wondering, when you got the role, or even the second and third, did you travel and visit one of these research locations to be able to see what the technology is like to better play that character?
Yeah, I mean, well, nowadays you don't have to leave your kitchen to do all the research in the world, you know. And particularly on the first one, I remember, because it's really also kind of about alchemy in a way too. It's kind of hard to talk about things that are, you know, chemical or biological without talking about the metaphysical aspect of things, you know. So we're really trying to think about, like, for instance, the fact that we chose palladium as the metal that he ultimately makes his new RT, his this little reactor from, came from, you know, reading kind of like metaphysical texts and stuff like that, you know. And then there's people who just really know about all this stuff. But I am such a stickler. I'm always going, why are we just putting a bunch of props down and acting like if we do a cool shot across them or whatever, like it's all explained, you know? And then they'll say, like, Robert, no one's going to, like, stop the movie and say, I don't know if the periodic table is being reflected correctly in the, you know, whatever. And I've loosened up on that over time, but that must be an exciting field. Wow, that sounds cool.
Anyone else? The guy, oh God, on the third from last row to that side. He's still got his hand up. There's the guy next to him who's trying to get his hand up after that.
Hi. Oh, wow, loud. 2 questions to ask you. Number one, on the subject of weirdness, just wanted to know what's the weirdest fan thing that's happened to you? And secondly, if you look around the room, there are loads and loads of shields. They're the colleges of Cambridge. I just wanted to know which was your favourite one.
Oh, I'll tell you. I mean, I've already made my choice, but I'll look at the other ones anyway. That's called Diplomacy, and I like that one. That blue one right there.
The blue one.
Yeah, and what's that one?
What is that? Does anyone know? Is it Lucy Cavendish? She's not just lying. That's Lucy Cavendish College.
Cool. Lucy Cavendish.
2 more questions. Yeah.
And let me see, I don't know, weird fan stuff. You know, if things get weird past a certain point, then you just turn it over to a security team. So it's not really worth talking about. But I remember someone writing me a letter once and telling me it was time to come join my place in the Ring of Fire. And I thought, it is? Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I got this piece of mail late. I must have missed taking my place in your Ring of Fire. Forward to, you know, local law enforcement.
Okay, we've got time for 2 more questions. So, just the guy over there. The one who's pointing at himself and then put the thumbs up.
It's working? Cool. When do people deserve second chances, and how do you know?
Be still. Be still and know that I am the Lord. Yeah. Well, I think most folks tend to get them whether they deserve them or not, and then who am I to judge who deserves what? I think it's interesting, though, that, you know, having a lousy education is no guarantee of failure, and having a privileged education is no guarantee of success, you know. And something that's always struck me is really kind of, wow, like, worth not trying to figure out is that why is it that some people will have these really auspicious beginnings and there's all this promise and they have youth, and then, like, fate takes a strange turn on them, and then it seems like, you know, for years and years and years they're in the barrel or whatever, and then all of a sudden they kind of pop up and do something extraordinary. Or they pop up and they pull themselves together and they show up for their friends and family and they live this kind of honorable life, and it wasn't about what they were trying to attain, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, we were talking about this earlier, just the principle of grace, and that it kind of seems like grace is suspended over us, and it's free, but it also allows us free will to walk away from it. So I suppose if I had to give some half-assed answer, it would just be that you know, a second chance is being given that umbrella of grace again, and not taking it for granted. Whereas some people, you know, you're giving them a second chance, but there hasn't been really any shift in their moral psychology. So of course they take their own will back and they do something that's really not for the highest good, and then you wonder why things don't go their way. You know, it was very deep. I hope you got that. Please send that to me. That'll be my bumper sticker. It's a really long bumper sticker. I'm gonna put it on a Hummer.
Okay, so one more question. So can you please make it good? It's like impossible to pick who's going to give a good question just by how they look. So
Well, I'll help you. You're not going to ask something silly again, are you?
Oh,
okay, go ahead.
He most probably will, but you can roll with it if you want.
All right.
Scarlett Johansson was great in those films, but she's the sort of the only Avenger who's been in lots of films who's not had her own movie ever. Would you call yourself a feminist?
You bastard. I gave you the keys to the kingdom, and you give me that schlock. You know, you're probably onto something. I've finally been found out. Yeah. That's all make-believe, son. It is interesting, though. I actually hope that Scarlett does. I think the cool thing that's going on in this whole genre is, like, when I go to, it's a dumb and perfect way to end, I'll go to Comic-Con, and you realize that these fan-driven films have always been, you know, really equally male and female, and yet there's still this kind of mildly Western mentality, kind of, you know, misogynist light thing going on in all these films. And now there really are things happening now. I mean, it's not like some big yahoo for women's rights that Wonder Woman is coming, you know what I mean? But anyway, I think that it strangely, in this kind of genre, I think there's been this odd kind of equality is coming to the surface. And that's what I call a highly over-intellectualized answer to a silly question, and thank you for that question. Couldn't imagine a better way to end.
Well, so I'll just say, I mean, that applause kind of says it for me, but I just want to say on behalf of everyone in the Cambridge Union, everyone in Cambridge, I mean, it's really one of the best speaker events I've ever seen. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
That was so good. Thank you so much. That was really awesome.
Hold fast.
Okay, so we're going to try and do some sort of massive photo. Are we going to try and do that? Wait, can everyone just stay still?
Right there. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, do you want a mic or? No, you're cool. So how's this gonna work? I took that. That was so good.
You need everybody to stand up.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do one.
Is it called Christoph up there? No, what's it?
That's Chris.
Chris, do you need everybody to stand up? No? Okay, that's lovely. So all the people in front of Robert, please go and sit down. Okay. Okay. Okay, can everybody just stay in where they are now? So we've got everybody we need. So if everybody can just stay in the same point. Chris, it's over to you. Thank you very much, that's lovely. If I can ask everybody to go and sit down, if you could all go back and sit down, that would be rather marvellous. Can you all go back and take your seats, please? If you can all go back and take your seats, please go back and take your seats. I feel like I'm at a fairground. Take your seats. Only £1 for the ride on the Wurlitzers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having us.
The end. Everyone leave.